What are you breaking my balls for? All right, it's about that time for another episode of Breakin Ballz with Johnny P. How's everybody doing? I'm your host, and sitting on my right, as always, my good friend, my co-host, Lou Martini Jr.
Always good to be with the Senator of Sensuality, Mr. Johnny P.
What's happening, pal?
I'm very excited. I think we're going to have a fantastic night. We have some dear old friends with us,
Yes,
and
yes.
we're gonna shoot the shit and have some fun, John. What can I tell you, right?
We have two good friends with us tonight. Back again, the actor, producer, our good friend Garry Pastore sitting in the co-host seat, and then a dear friend of all of ours, co-star from The Sopranos, Danny Parisi. We got the one and only Dan Grimaldi with us tonight. Straight from Brooklyn.
What a show!
up,
What a
Danny?
show!
Thank you.
Hey, Gary, do you have your dog with you? Because when we were talking, I heard it go. You got a dog back there or no?
What are you talking about? What dog? What do you mean?
Oh,
What's up, fellas? What's going
Was I
on?
huffing and puffing?
Yeah, I heard you.
First of all, did you guys see the movie I'm talking about, the Emilio Perez that's getting all these accolades and stuff?
No, I'm not rushing to see that.
Did you see Conclave?
Conclave?
No.
Yes.
Did you?
Ray Fine, amazing
Yeah.
movie. Go see it. First of all, the cinematography is gorgeous. Again, it's a movie. It's a great story, but I don't want to blow the ending. Johnny knows the ending already because we talked about it.
yeah.
Yeah, go see Conclave.
Don't give away the ending.
That's who should win. Not this Emilio Perez singing cartel members with no balls or their balls tied behind their back. I don't know what the hell's
There's a
going
lot
on.
of crazy stuff.
Gary, I don't know what's going on anymore, Gary.
Yeah, times have changed. They really have. For both,
Without a
for
doubt.
all of us.
For all of us.
For all of us.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Danny, what's going on? Johnny wants to know what's going on. You haven't seen John in a while.
You got a new. We chat. We text. We email. We call each other. We see each other. I see him every now and then. You got a new movie. You got a couple new movies coming out. You want to talk about them? Tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah, one is on Amazon Prime, Brooklyn Love Story.
Good movie.
I am
Yeah.
so proud of it. It's just
saw it.
a
Yeah, it was
sweet.
good. I saw it.
It's a sweet film. It really is. There's no cursing. I mean, and you
No
know,
transvestites in it at all? I don't
and,
think so.
and
Oh,
it's
he owns
we
a
have a
fruit
great
stand.
cast, and it's based on a real store. Not a real story, a real fruit store.
That's
and then the second one, which is which is in a way a dream. I play in a film called Godless, and I play the Cardinal of New York. And I get
that's
dressed.
great.
I get dressed in the robe, and I always want to play a priest. I played a priest in Pasquale's Magic Veal.
Yeah.
And that was good. And now I'm up to Cardinal. Now I'm looking forward to Pope before I die.
That's awesome. What about this series supposed to be you got in the works?
Oh yeah, there's put them up, and it's a independent series. It's about boxing, and we're going to shoot like 6 episodes in the spring, and then hopefully we'll sell it somewhere.
What are you playing in there? You playing a co
A manager, yeah.
Okay,
I play a fight manager,
cool.
yeah.
Sounds
So
interesting.
looking forward to that. We're going to start in April. I think April is the starting of 6 episodes. So.
Who else is involved in that, Dan? Can you say at this point? No. Oh, you can't say.
No.
That's one of the things about the business. I can't say.
Now, one more thing. You got an event
Can't
coming.
bust out who you're working
He has
with.
an event coming up like
All right.
next week, but by the time
Goomba
this
Johnny is involved.
Oh, there you
All
go.
right.
Goomba Johnny.
We
and-
love
and
Goomba
myself.
Johnny.
Great, man.
Yeah.
Good friend.
We became friends at 2000 when I was doing 6 Goombas and a wannabe.
Oh, you were in that?
I was the
Oh,
lead.
wow.
I was the star.
It was great.
But
Great play.
It was
didn't
so
get to
much
see
fun.
that was a
So
while.
much fun. But anyway, what happened was Goomba would publicize it on the radio show because he was on a radio show. So we went up to see him and everything, and then we brought him down for the weekend to play the mob guy that was in the play, and so. I took him under my wing. I mentored him, and then I also mentored him during the performance. I kept making sure he did what he did. And so we became really, really close friends. So we've been friends for a long time. So we're going to do this together, and that's really great. And he's a great comedian. I mean, he's just a funny guy.
Well, Danny, stand by for a second. Let's talk to Gary for a second, then we're all going to jump around a little. Gary, last night I watched that movie finally that you were in.
First Shift.
First Shift.
Yeah. No, you're going to butcher it, so that's why I cut you off.
No, I got it written
I
right
can't
now.
believe you got the title right.
That
So
you
it was
can't-
1 for 1
I
so
can't
far.
butcher that. First, I butcher a lot of words, but it's all right. Talk about it. I love the part. As soon as I was watching it, I was like, your face popped up. I was like, there he is.
Yeah, I'm a bad guy as usual. It's funny, I got a call from the director. His name is Uwe Ball.
Uwe.
And Uwe's done, he's got quite a litany of films that he's done. He's from Germany. But he's also, he has this reputation that he's not happy with the critics. The critics pan him a lot. And he got so fed up, he invited some critics into a boxing ring. And he said, you know, if you're going to pick on me, let's do this right. He wound up knocking a bunch out. So he calls me, and he goes, Garry, my name is Uwe Boll. He goes, and you're in this show called The Douche. And he goes, and The Douche is really popular here in Germany. And I was like, The Deuce. He goes, yeah, The Douche. He goes, I would love to have gotten Rispoli, but we, you know, you and Daniel Solis in it with me. And it wasn't a really big role, but this was the pilot. And my role turns into a huge role if we do get the rest of the shows picked up. They wrote 8 episodes so far.
Oh, great.
Great.
Yeah.
Back when I was bartending, you know, that German accent is very, very funny. I had a guy one night, and I'm bartending. He comes up to the bar. He said, yeah, I like a Sieben. Yeah, come again, pal? Sieben. I says, I'm sorry, I don't speak German. He goes, Sieben and Sieben. I don't speak German. I have no idea. He takes the napkin. He writes down 7 and 7. I feel like an idiot. I'm like, I should have known Sieben was 7 and 7, man.
That's right. That's what it is. There's a great German
never even
place
heard
up the
that.
block.
Sieben and Sieben. And he was furious. He was furious when I didn't get it the first 5 times, you know.
Yeah, well, see,
Back in the bartending days, you guys know about bartending. Remember
Oh,
when
I
we used to
know. I
bartend?
was
Dave,
one.
did you ever bartend?
No. I never. No.
You just went right from the womb to the stage. You were the chosen one.
I was a college professor.
That's right. That's right.
he's the
yeah.
smartest one out of all of us
Well,
here.
I don't know about that, but but I have two stories to talk about my dear friend
Yeah,
Louis.
let's hear this.
All
I
right, the
heard
first
so.
one was how we met, which was really interesting.
Great story.
Tony and Tita's Wedding was a play, an interactive play off Broadway, and they were hiring Nunzio, who was the oldest. It was the father-in-law, and he.
Now, this was their first interactive play.
Yeah, first.
Oh, yeah,
interactive
I
play.
know.
It was a big smash hit
And so
back in the day.
we were in an acting group, the actors Jim and Jimmy Georgiadis was in the play, and he said to me they were auditioning for the father, and you want to do it? And I said, you know, Jim, I don't want to play a father in a wedding. I've been, you know, how many Italian weddings I've been to. So as the night went on, your head gets into the right gear, and you say opportunity. So I said, you know what, Jim, tell them to call me up if they want me to audition. So the director calls me up, Julie Cesare. She calls me up, and so I have an audition. So the audition's about 5 o'clock, I guess it was, and the performance was at 7:30.
Yes, before the shows they would.
So I go there, and there's 30 people in the cast, and they're all there at 5 o'clock. I'm saying to myself, who comes to the theater?
A lot of them chanting,
at 5
right?
o'clock.
There was like 25 Buddhists in the cast.
5 o'clock when the play starts at 7:30. Anyway. So nobody says a word. Nobody says hello. Icicles are coming out of the roof, except Louis comes over, introduces himself, makes me feel comfortable, and eventually I get the role, and we work together. And that was 1989.
1989.
So we know each other that long. But he was the kindest, really, the only one in the cast
That's nice.
that
Well,
made
because everybody
any
else was
overture-
chanting, like I said.
Overture at all. And the second thing is, in my life, I've had tragedies, as we've all had, and there are dates associated, and those dates have been not replaced, but good things have happened on almost every date that I had a bad thing happen in my life. And for all of us, I mean, December 7th is Pearl Harbor Day. And one of the worst things that ever happened, you know, to the United States. And what happened was, to replace the tragedy of December 7th was a very joyous thought that my friend Louis was born on December 7th.
Oh,
Get out of here.
Listen to me.
I knew something was wrong.
Since 1989.
Don't tell him the real story.
Since 1989, because you probably started the show in the fall of '89.
No,
So probably
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Okay, so it'd be my 29th birthday,
Right, like-
December 7th. I get this answering machine, and it sounded like Edward R. Morrow was calling my house, and he did something like December 7th, 1960, the second most infamous day in the history of this country when Martini Jr. was born. And to this day, we're in 2024, I get the call every morning
Well,
on
here
my
we go.
birthday.
Wait, I'll give you. It's changed a little bit. The phone call.
You don't do a day that will live in infamy?
Yeah, it's the second most infamous day.
Two out of the three worst things that ever happened to the United States happened on this day. Pearl Harbor and the birth of Louis Martini Jr. That's the phone call.
Gary, to this day, he does
year.
it every year. I get it, man. I love you, buddy.
You know
I
what
love
was
you.
really funny about that? Because I make that kind of phone call to my dear friends. And one of my friends, he passed away, Kenny Marino, rest his soul.
Yeah.
His birthday was December 29th. I called him on December 30th. And he said to me, for 27 years, you have called me on my birthday every year. I said, I'm a day late, Kenny. He said, I know. Thank you. But it was like I didn't realize, like him. If I didn't
Well,
call him,
his is not on a holiday, so it's going to be hard to remember. Mine
Yeah.
is on a holiday, so it's easy to remember.
But if I don't call him, he's going to say he's gone. Where is he?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The first thing I do is after midnight on the 8th.
We'll take him
I'd
out
be,
for
what
some
happened to
Chinese
Danny?
food.
Lou, you're still one of the few that I call now because I used to call a lot of people,
But
you're
it makes
still one
my
of the
day.
few.
It always starts my birthday off on a good day.
Sushi, not
Very,
Chinese.
very funny. Very funny.
That's unbelievable. Did you guys ever get to work together at all on anything?
No.
We worked on the same shows.
Yeah.
But
not directly.
Not together. We never did a scene together.
What, you remember the first day you guys hooked up? You just met?
Yeah, we met at March of Dimes.
Mm-hmm.
John Franco's March of Dimes. What did he do it for? For the March of Dimes.
Right,
but
right.
we had a celebrity bowling tournament.
Oh, that's right.
And then we did a couple of celebrity golf tournaments,
yeah.
which were fun.
But we
Those
knew
were
you,
great.
like we were talking about before. But we
We
knew
knew
you.
you
You know me
because
from Columbus.
From
Columbus.
89 and
From
90,
Columbus.
those days, Danny and I, a dear friend Dave Dondora, that was
We used
Tony
to go
the
up
Ti-
to Columbus.
It was like Italian Actors Night. Tony
Right.
Danza would be
Right.
there,
Yeah.
and all the Italian guys would show up
And then
on
we
that
went to
Thursday.
Mary
That's how we-
Lou's.
Yeah.
It went from Columbus to Peters across the street.
Right.
Peters. Wow.
Then it went to Elaine's, and then it was Mary Lou's down in the village.
Right.
Became
Then it
the
went to
hot-
Borelli's. Remember Borelli's? The guy
yeah.
that ran Borelli's? I forgot his
What
name.
was the one in the village where we used to march around and sing on a Tuesday night? All the Italian actors. What's that famous restaurant? It's like I can't think of it.
Was that on the
Maganette.
corner? The one
In
on
the
the
village.
corner?
La Maganette?
No. It was a very
Puglia's. Puglia's is
Puglia's.
where you get up on the tables and sing and
guess
everything.
that.
Tuesday night. All the Italian actors.
Yeah,
used to
Sonny
go
Grasso had a table there and
we used
stuff.
to march around. Sing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
drink.
that was crazy.
And Paul Savino used to sing opera.
Oh my gosh! yeah.
Was he good?
Rest
He
his
was
soul.
great.
Oh,
He was great.
That's
He
what
had some
wanted.
voice.
Yeah, he wanted to play Caruso. That was his dream. Maybe but it never happened. So
He used to
rest his
break out
soul.
in Columbus doing it.
Yeah, he had a great voice.
Yeah, he would sing in the
And
green
he
room in
loved
Law and
it.
Order.
He
He'd just
loved
start
it.
singing. He loved
yeah?
it. He loved that was his true love. Yeah, he loved
true
it.
love. Yeah, he was a good man, Paulie. He
He's gone a couple of
quasi-directed me in
years
a play
now, right?
once. What?
He's gone a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, it's about
Yeah,
3
yeah,
years.
yeah.
something like that.
I met his son for the first time at Chiller.
Michael?
At Chiller, yeah. At the
Michael's
Chiller.
great. Good
yeah,
guy.
very nice man.
Really,
very
really
nice,
nice
man.
guy.
You met him when we were at Chiller.
Yeah.
This past year. They didn't put the guest list up yet for April.
Yeah, but
I'm
sometimes for April they're like last minute.
Yeah?
Because April is a tough month.
Because we enjoy that. We go to that Chiller convention and
Yeah.
say hello to everybody.
Great time.
Well, you've done it. Danny's done it. I've done it. You ever done Chiller?
No.
Have you done Chiller yet? You make a few bucks signing
No.
pictures? It's fun.
There's a guy out there.
I
Say
made
I'm no
very few
celebrity.
bucks.
Me too. I made very few. I lowered my price by the hour. I started at 30. I got a 25. 4 o'clock. All right, $10 a picture, everybody.
Vinnie was there a long time ago. He goes,
Yeah, I was there.
Who was it? David Paval was there.
Chuck?
Robert Lozier.
Zito.
Yeah, but that was who next to Vinnie goes, hey, John, do you know Robert?
He does a good Vinny.
You know,
He really
John, this is Johnny P. He has a show out in Staten Island. It's good.
You should do his show. No, you should do his show.
I remember
I
when,
can't do him.
I can't at
see,
all.
I can do them and I can't. But then I remember when I had to go bring somebody to go do a commercial, and he was doing it with Vinny, and it was for the sauce, his Italian sauce.
Right.
So the actor
did well with that, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want to mention the actor's name, the comedian's name. So he goes, "Hey, Vinny, I'm here to do that the commercial." He goes, "I'm not here doing a commercial. John, tell this fucking guy I'm in SAG. I'm not gonna lose my pension. This ain't SAG. This is."
Oh my God, that is great,
Right
bro.
on. But you know what's happening now? He's got two impressions that are running together now. He's got to be careful.
Him and Willie
His Vinnie
DeMayo
Pastore
depends.
is starting to sound like his Willie DeMayo now. He does Willie DeMayo, and they're starting to sound alike.
Come on.
I don't know, Gary. I'm not supposed to come here tonight. Johnny P didn't tell me to come. I'm filming Gravesend. We're going to, where's that, LMB. We got to have a slice.
Old school.
Old school. But
He's all right. He's all right,
love-
Willie.
listen,
He
But you see how
tries.
they're starting to sound
I love
alike.
all you guys, but listen, I can't do Gary yet. I don't do Danny. I could do Louie every now
I hear
and
you
then.
do, Louie.
He
You do
does me a
pretty
little
good.
bit. He does me
John,
pretty good.
I don't really feel good tonight. I think I got the vertigo. I got the vertigo. The cats are fucking running all over the place.
Oh, this is why I come here. This is worth the price of admission, bro.
Shit. Oh, shit.
Then we get a
I had
special.
vertigo this morning, by the way. I had it this morning. the fucking vertigo I get every once in a while. I wish it on no one, the fucking vertigo. Oh, God.
But you've been good. You've been good for all these episodes,
Hey, I showed up to
when
everyone.
I see the friggin' phone ring the day of the show, I shake.
Oh,
with
God.
him.
That's funny. Johnny Potenza's a funny
You
man.
got to get some acupuncture.
Oh, God.
You don't have as bad as my cousin. I mean, some people have that really bad.
No,
vertigo.
when I get a spell, John, I get it bad. I mean, it's debilitating. You can't read, you can't watch, you can't do anything but
Do you
sleep.
take anything for it?
Huh?
You take anything?
I'll take a Dramamine.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it happens, but when it happens, it's already too
What
late.
happens if you go up to the roof and look down? Aren't you afraid
That's a
of-
very hypothetical. I wouldn't go to the fucking roof and look down, first of all. I'm in bed sleeping.
No,
when
I
have
meant with
vertigo.
vertigo. It has a lot to do with
It
height.
spins.
and
Everything
stuff.
spins.
Everything spins.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do that on a good day.
I wouldn't do that on a good day, yes.
Wouldn't do that if I didn't have vertigo.
Because I'm afraid of heights anyway.
You don't have to put your head down. Just hold your head down like.
It sucks.
the
I
bed,
had it.
like
I
that.
actually, when I have it 3 days in a row, I give myself, if I have it that third day, I go to physical therapy. And I have a great, great physical therapist on 14th Street, man. She's great. You know, you go on the table and they do things with your head and stuff.
Yeah.
And they shake I have a crystal imbalance. Now, different types of vertigo are caused by different things. Mine happens to be a crystal imbalance. You
Oh,
can get
it's
it
in
from
your ear.
stress.
It's
Yes.
equilibrium.
But you could be stressed out. You could get it.
Yeah, well,
I'm surprised
stress-
you don't have it
stress
because
is
you're
always-
stressed out.
You stress me out too. So,
I'm surprised I don't
go
have it.
scratch.
Danny, you ever see his movie he did about stress?
No.
He had me play his
De-stress?
fucking errand
Oh,
boy.
my God.
He's got me running
You're
around
my
town.
errand boy?
You gotta watch it. Yeah.
You're my.
What's the name of it?
Boy.
I was your errand
De-stressed.
boy. Call it what it
It's on-
was.
Yeah, it's on YouTube now.
YouTube?
It's about stress.
It's
and what it does
very
to you.
interesting.
He won awards for it, but it's great. He fucked with him in one of the scenes that he did. He had Tony Ray Rossi. Can I say it?
What?
The part that he said, Tony Ray Rossi was cutting his hair. So, and he said, he goes, where's Lou Martini? He goes, who's that guy? The fucking guy who still thinks he's in The Sopranos? But I was sitting next to him doing the thing, and I just felt bad. I laughed. It was funny.
Supposedly, I was me in the movie, which didn't make
You
any
were.
sense that I was going to the fucking bank for Garry Pastore in real life.
No, you weren't. But we were partners in this.
You were
That's
sending
what
me
it
to
was
the
about.
bank. What partners? I was your
You know,
errand
I was
boy.
busy.
Then you
were
screamed and yelled at me. You threw my phone out of the window.
No, I threw the phone off the terrace. That's
the
right.
terrace.
And you saw it.
Oh,
and you
God.
went, oh, that must be you.
Oh, God.
As if.
And the movie's actually a good movie.
It is good. It's good. It
You
won
should have.
awards.
You really should have cut me out. You should have cut the errand boy shit out.
I'll send you the
Because
link.
it's a serious topic
I didn't
about
make you an
stress.
errand boy.
I'll email
I
you
was
the
running
link.
errands.
Partner.
You yelled at me for not calling the bank, not getting the money in the bank.
But that would mean you're my partner.
No, that means I'm your fucking errand
Do me a
boy.
favor. Do what this Vinny would say.
I don't know, Lou.
No, you were my partner. You were my
Oh,
errand
my
boy.
gosh. If Vinny sees this, he's going to hate us. But that
Oh,
was
God.
funny.
We love Vinny. You kidding me? Vinny's the best.
That's what's great about our crew, and I said that, is that we fucking love each other.
Yeah.
And we know each other so long that,
Especially in a cutthroat business that we're in.
Yeah.
well, there's
You know,
still guys that are,
there's still,
listen,
yeah.
I'm pretty,
But I'm talking about the guys, our guys. You know, our guys.
When he was on the show with Willie last year, he goes, "You're coming to my birthday party, right? You're gonna come and play the drums, right?" And I go, "Yeah, of course. You know me. When I get to his party,
play the
he goes, "I don't know, Johnny. I don't know if you could get you on the drums today." I go, "I don't worry about it." And then at the end of the day, he goes, "You want to play the drums?" So I just don't. Yeah, I know either way I'm going to be playing the drums eventually. mean, whether it's that gig or the next gig. But like I was all ready to start drinking, and the good thing he told me is I don't like to play the drums when I'm drinking, because then
Did you end up playing the drum?
Yeah, but I wound up dropping sticks and shit. You know what I mean? So I don't like to drink when I get up and play the drums. But no, Vinny's the best. I mean, listen, I got to give him a lot of. I always give him props because I was only on like my 3rd season. And I met him in Staten Island at Nico's restaurant, and we just got to. I remember when I first saw him get out of the car, I go, "Fucking big pussy's coming in here," because he was still a little younger.
Oh, that's right, Nico's.
And then he came. Yeah, then he came. He agreed to come on my show, and he came on with Don Jameson. And then after that, it opened up a lot of doors for the actors or you guys to come on my show. Because once he came on, they're like, "Oh, well, fucking Vinny, he's very fussy." If
It brought you
on,
legitimacy.
Yeah. But yeah, I always give him the credit, so I let him bust my balls.
I'm surprised you didn't have to send a horse and chariot to go get him to where he lives.
Yeah, well, he was on Staten Island a lot, helping out that restaurant. So we had a lot of good times, man. And
Yeah, I know Vinny since we did Men of Respect, and I guess it was in the 80s. What
was
was
with
the
Jeff
80s?
Mazzola?
Yeah,
I got that.
Yeah.
I got the DVD. I remember that.
Yeah, we did Men of Respect, and actually, I forget the name of the actor. He was a big guy, and he was supposed to be shot, and he was on a gurney, and he said to Vinny, "Punch me." I mean, this is the kind of acting that he was creating.
Yeah.
Punch me, and Vinny hauled off and clocked him in the chest 2 or 3 times, and so the guy was like. So that was his acting technique.
So it was a real punch.
Yeah, a real punch.
I saw Stephen Bauer do that to somebody.
Yeah.
And receive it. It was like a 5 o'clock call we had in the morning. And Stevie and whoever he was with comes into the set, and he's obviously been out all night doing what he's doing. So it was a scene where he was on the street, and the guy was supposed to kick him around a little bit. So they go to do the scene, and Steven is like, "No, you could kick me. It's all right." And the guy says, "No." He says, "No, you could kick me." No. He said, "No." He says, "Listen, I'm not doing the scene based unless you really kick me in the face." What? And we're standing there like, what the fuck? I mean, we know he's been out all night and stuff, but you can't kick the guy in the face. So they go, "Okay, action." Bang!
He kicked
The
him in the
blood,
face?
the tooth, everything.
Yeah.
Bang, the guy kicked him in the face.
Oh,
And he
Jesus.
was fucking fine with it.
No, he's
And
just
they
loony.
finished the scene from different angles and stuff like that. But I don't know what that deal was, man. I'll never forget that night. It was
That's
like 6
terrible.
o'clock in the
That's
morning,
terrible.
So,
It's called
man.
acting, you know.
Well, some
Well,
actors
you
like
tell me
it.
he has a famous story about a very famous actor. We're not going to say his name, obviously. But you told me the story many, many years ago. We were doing Tony and Tina's wedding.
Yeah.
And we were probably just talking acting shit.
Right.
You did a play with somebody that was playing a gunshot. And he was going off to the wings, and he was getting clamps, and he was clamping
I
himself
forgot
under
that.
his
I
shirt.
haven't thought of that story for a long, long
And
time.
you were like, "How about acting?" You know, the kid,
Yeah.
he's a big star today. He's
Yeah,
an award-winning star.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah?
But when he did this play with
He
Danny,
put gaffers clips, and
he would clip himself. to
They
play a
hurt
gunshot.
like hell.
Fucking
put them on
A.
the side to create the
Pain?
Oh,
the
really?
pain of a gunshot wound. And I just said to myself, it's called acting.
Yeah.
Hey, is it true that Jimmy walked around with rocks in his shoes? Or is that a rumor?
Well, that's what he said
He said it himself because I had heard
Yeah,
that.
he
Why would he
said-
put
he's-
rocks in his shoes?
to get angry.
Oh.
He said it in the and I watched Chase's interview again last night, and he did say it. He said, he said, put rocks in your shoes, walk around with that all day. You'll be angry. You'll be angry as hell. Because he did a lot of things, because he had to maintain the character for so many hours, 14 hours, 5 days a week.
And I'm just hearing it now. I didn't hear it when I was on the show, but he didn't show up a lot, huh? There was
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
See,
I want to hear it from you guys.
You know what it was?
The
honestly?
documentary that I seen, kind of annoyed me, kind of upset me a little. Some of the
What?
stuff.
People don't
Chase?
realize when you're a lead like that, how much pressure is on you.
The
Oh, I
first,
totally
the
understand.
show was him.
the first 2 years, he didn't have a day off.
He didn't have a day off.
Once in a while, not a lot, he would not show up. I was once.
I mean, literally without calling, like missing. It's like somebody has to go find
Yeah,
him.
well, in the documentary, what's his face? The guy from HBO, what's his name? Chris Albrecht. He said, it got to the point where they were fining him $100,000 a day.
Get outta here.
If he missed. Yeah, because it cost a lot of money when he was out.
Yeah.
But one time I was driving in from the Hamptons. I left my house like 5 a.m. I was
Oh, you were in the Hamptons when you were shooting Sopranos?
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'd be out there. So I'm driving back in. And I'm an hour into the ride. I get a phone call. Danny, don't come in. Jimmy didn't come in. So,
Oh, wow.
You know, but that was not often. It wasn't often. It
Yeah,
was,
because somebody
I
had
think
said
it
the other day
the
that it was
pressure,
a lie. I
bro.
don't
It
know.
was
Yeah.
the pressure.
Oh, without
Everybody
a
wants
doubt.
to label a guy.
Without a doubt.
Meanwhile, he was a prince.
Yeah, the best to everybody.
I mean,
He was
a
the
prince,
greatest.
The
He
greatest.
really was. He was a great leader. He was a generous guy. He was fun to be around.
How come they were throwing him underneath the bus a little in some of the interviews? It seemed like.
That's pretty much why. You know,
Yeah.
they listen. The envy in our business is so disgraceful.
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy who would take off his shoe and give it to you, and not even think about it. He helped so many people.
He gave $30,000
and
to
then to
each
talk behind his back.
cast member, which was really.
Well, that
when- when
asshole
he-
wrote
yeah.
that book.
Oh, that. Yeah.
What was the name of it?
But you know what was funny in that interview? When Edie said, "Checks? What checks?"
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
I didn't
right.
get a check.
Edie said she didn't get a check.
I was shocked because they all got it. You know.
Yeah, Edie said she didn't get a check.
yeah,
And then the last year, remember, because I was at the table read when they had their little meeting, and he told everybody, he says, "Look, if you don't get jacked up, I'm quitting." And he told HBO if they don't get, and it was
Well,
probably you were one of the guys.
I was.
No,
I was.
If
I
you didn't
was.
get a raise,
He gave.
you guys were working for the same contract for the first 4 or 5 years.
He told his manager to represent those of us who were underrepresented. And he gave his manager to us, and his manager gave us a deal, half the commission, if he didn't double our salaries.
Right.
And so that was.
I remember I was at that
and
table
that's
read.
the kind of guy he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he stood up for us, and he didn't have to, but he did.
Really
And he
su-
doesn't get the credit as an actor that he
No,
deserves.
forget it. Yeah.
I was amazed. The first day that I worked was I had the scene where they steal the eyeglasses from me. That was my very first day.
That was it. What season was that?
Season 6. I was on the last season. And I was amazed. I got, a lot of people know this story. I got hit in the back on the West Side Highway. I was in an accident on the way there. They sent me to the wrong location. So the first day, I think I'm getting fired. I'm 45 minutes late. And I walk in, and he was so gracious and kind. Lou, you okay? Is everything all right? But we you okay? Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. So, and he was just a guy, right? And then when they say rolling, did you do any scenes with him?
No.
No, but you.
Yeah, I
when
did.
they say
Plenty of
rolling,
scenes.
Gary, everything changes. His breathing, his posture, his eyes go back in his head a little bit. It was the most amazing thing to see.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
know.
fuck,
I watched
this
that.
guy's
no,
a fucking
he's-
actor. This
oh,
is
no,
not.
he's a
This is
top-
no bullshit.
Top actor.
Right?
Top
I mean,
actor.
just he doesn't get the credit
He was
he
a
deserves
craftsman.
as an actor.
He was a craftsman.
And I
mean,
watched those series so many times over. I usually catch a lot of stuff. He was great.
Oh, no, he
Even
was-
Paulie Walnuts is not being an actor, just being a.
No, he was an actor. He's been an
You know
actor.
what I mean? But they pulled him in. But he was just. They were all great. Everybody. You know.
Well, Jimmy
it was a
was-
great chemistry.
Jimmy was brilliant, and he had to create a hell of a character too. I mean, you got to dig deep, and he had to do that day after day after day. It takes its toll.
Danny, what'd you think of the movie?
The Saints.
Saints of Newark, yeah.
I don't know. It was okay. I didn't have that much of.
What'd you think of the movie, Gary?
I
was
thought
all right.
it would.
It wasn't bad, but
I
don't know.
I wish that we were in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it. I watched it twice. It was okay. You know, not what I expected.
I read for Ray's brother, right? And Ray wound up doing both roles.
Oh, right.
So I was up for that. I didn't get it. You think about all the jobs where you really wanted the job, and then you don't get the job, and then, you get bummed out.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There's been an ad on social media. I don't know if it has any relevance, but James Gandolfini's son is in a poster.
Michael?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
says,
nah,
it says The
it's
Sopranos.
bullshit.
Coming. Yeah.
Bullshit.
I was saying.
No, there's no more
it's done.
Sopranos.
Yeah.
Done.
Done. Yeah. Good. Yeah. I don't
It's
see it.
done, and I think they milked that cow.
I think it would have happened
Personally.
after the Saints of Newark if it would have went down, if it was that good,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Why do anything like that at this point?
I don't think that I don't think we'll see any more Soprano
And
stuff.
excuse me, there's another one, The Godfather 4. Is that bullshit too?
That's bullshit.
Yeah. There's-
You see,
Are you kidding me?
Sylvester Stallone, that was all IG.
Yeah.
AI.
AG. AI.
There you go.
AI.
IG.
IG.
That's Inspector General, you
It's
hammer.
original gangster. That's my language, Dad. That's from not paying attention to school. Lou, you okay? What are you doing? Getting a fucking
God.
vertigo? You look like
Inspector
Stevie
General.
Wonder over there.
Inspector General.
Inspector General.
Inspector Gadget. IG, Inspector
All right,
Gadget.
next.
Oh, I love the laughs here.
Shit.
Who's got another story to tell? Something funny.
See,
About what?
you know the thing about Danny now? Again, I know Danny since 1989. He's one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Right, Danny?
Absolutely. We had a
Like
connection
if I asked
even
Danny
before.
right now, Danny, whose balls you want to break right now? He probably wouldn't have anybody's balls to break. You got the wrong guy for the
got the
wrong
wrong
show,
guy.
breaking balls. You, on the other hand, me.
Oh, for God.
Me, we'd be here for 3 hours.
I,
Gary
I
breaks some
enjoy,
balls.
I enjoy breaking balls.
You've been in
My
Facebook
favorite.
jail more than I've been. Was in jail.
Facebook jail.
I was.
Oh, yeah, they
What's
put him in.
Facebook jail?
He gets thrown off
What is
Facebook
that?
He
every
gets
week.
thrown
Thrown
off
off.
like for 30 days. He can't go on. They lock him
that
out.
right?
Yeah, that's when Zuckerberg, he used to get mad if you said anything about the COVID virus or whatever, and he even
right.
admitted it.
Oh, man.
He went on
Facebook
Not
jail.
Facebook jail.
Yeah.
They lock you out.
They locked me up a couple of times.
What is that, FJ? Is that FJ, John? Facebook jail?
No, it's LM. Who moron? No.
Oh, shit. How about let's talk about you for a little bit here, because I want to find out. You told me that we were looking into doing like a behind the scenes documentary on you know, the podcast and all the stuff that you're doing with Staten Island Cape. What's going on with that? Are you doing anything with that?
well,
'Cause
the thing
I think
is,
that's a good idea.
The podcast is at the end of it is a documentary called From Late Night to Up Late, a behind the scenes look of the making of a public access show. It's all the ins and the
Is that
outs.
AI or is
and
that real?
It's real. It's going to be real. It's like your face, you know?
So go ahead. No, so
But,
you're doing the documentary.
It's going to be. I got to find a real narrator that has a name. That's not going to charge me too much, but I need somebody that's going to be great.
Where's
Why
this
don't you
gonna be
get
shown?
Vinnie? Get
On
Vinnie.
public access?
No, I got an independent film company that's like you're distressed.
Okay.
Get Vinny to do it. This is John when he goes behind the
make him
camera to
be the
make.
narrator.
The grind of it, people don't really know that part. And since like public access is kind of dying out and these kids do everything at home, show what a real grind is. Like right now I'm burnt out of doing that show because it's just too much
This
now.
is more fun.
This is a lot of fun.
This
yeah.
is a lot of fun. I'd rather do this than sit there and watch.
I like doing that whole
First
thing.
of all, you've done the show.
Many times.
The characters that he has to work with over there.
I
I,
love-
mean, that's a show in itself.
Well, when I go on and I talk to him, I usually get the hook because we go on and on and on. And
Put
talk
it
about
this
whole
way,
time.
it's. I would love to get that to a different level where I was getting paid, but you know, the late night talk show thing is like kind of going out unless you.
It really is.
You know, unless you're in like on one of these big networks. But
yeah.
I would love to possibly one day maybe get a backer to someone that
They're
would
too political, also. You know, I
get
don't-
me on a
this
stream,
is-
a streaming network, a streaming network, a Hulu, something like that. I would love to do the show on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what my cards where I'm going to land. Right now, I'm just going where God leads me, and I'm doing this. I'm doing the documentary as fun. I want to do that as a labor of love. I want to be able to tell my story because I had a lot of trials and errors with the show too. Lighting problems, sound problems, attitude problems, firing people. You know, there was a lot just to keep the train going. And I did over 200 shows there all by myself on a shoestring
You had great,
budget.
you had great guests. I have
You know,
to
and
say.
we had
You really
great
did.
people.
Yeah,
all
for a
you-
public
all
access
you
show.
Public
guys-
access, I can't believe all the people
all
that
of
came.
you guys and a bunch more all supported me, man. And most of the public access shows, the only one that was able to get guests like me was Vinnie Vella. Okay,
yeah.
but my production, and I love Vinnie, but my production was better than Vinnie's because I edited it. Vinnie left all the mistakes in. He had no editor. It was harder for him. You know what I mean?
Well, it's hard
And
when
they
you're the
still,
mayor of-
your show
when you're the
still run,
mayor of
right? On
Mumbai
public
Street,
access.
you know.
Right now,
Because somebody saw one the other night that I was
we're
on.
on all five bubbles, California and Northern California with LA 36 and Pasadena. I'm airing all repeats right now, all the best of the repeats, and I'm re-editing a little, but and I'm putting a couple of best of shows.
This is a better format.
Yeah.
And it's very now, this podcast.
Yeah, well,
stuff.
that's what it is. You know? Too much stress, too much aggravation. I'm getting
Yeah.
older now. It's affecting my health.
Yeah.
And as much as I love it, if the fun ain't there no more, guys, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah, health.
Yeah,
Health.
when the business stopped becoming
Health.
fun, I noticed I didn't have the drive dealing with the BS that we, you know,
The BS.
the self-taping right now. You know, what really still boggles my mind, and I don't know if I brought this up previously, is that here I am, I got 10 hours or more of video with A-list actors that I'm in scenes with. So we keep doing these, you build up this beautiful reel,
Yeah.
but yet these people still want you to read where they can just look at
Yeah.
your work,
Yeah.
you know? And I put range in. I put me playing somebody other than a mobster because I can do that in my sleep. But you give them this thing on a silver platter, and they don't even give you the respect to look at it. So what good is all the work that you've done? Am I wrong or right, though?
our friend,
as a veteran, we put this stuff,
It's good for your heart.
They tried in the
That's
last
it.
contract. They're going to try in this contract. Dan Lauria was a big advocate of this, of getting like 25, 30, 35 bucks every time we self-tape, because it's time and money.
Yeah.
Because you're now buying materials and things that you need to self-tape, lighting and backdrops and all this stuff,
you're the
because they don't want to
DP.
go to the office.
the set decorator, the prop.
Did you guys go up for the mattress commercial last week? Well, there was literally hundreds of Italian-American actors. And again, now, why, for 3 lines on a mattress commercial, you can't just look at somebody's tape and hire them? Just the money
why
being
not?
wasted. I just don't get
Let
it.
me ask this: don't use. If I was an actor, I think it would. Isn't it better just auditioning in front of casting directors than making these stupid tapes over and
Absolutely.
over?
Yeah.
Always better
Yeah,
being in a room.
absolutely.
Because with the tapes, you got to do it. And when I used to do the cable show in my basement, I used to have to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 takes to do the opening. And when I did it live, it was a lot easier when you rehearse. So I'm sure, like when you're doing an audition in front of a casting director,
it's much easier to work in front of a
Right?
casting director.
The only
than
thing
it
the
is-
self-tape helps, the actors that don't audition well. Now, there are some tremendous actors out there that just don't audition well. I happen to audition well, so I like to be in a room. But a self-tape will help a guy because he
can do it again.
He can do it again and again in his house till he's ready to
Right.
send it.
yeah, but also when he gets put on a spot, what happens then?
Well, like I said, there's some great actors that can't audition.
What I can't figure out
yeah.
is
If you get the job, you get the job, then you can do your work. But auditioning is a different animal.
Yeah.
It just is. Some are real good at it, some are not so good at it.
And it
it's
gets
just-
you psyched to say, "Oh wow, I got an audition. I got to rehearse."
Yeah.
You get out of your house, you go. It's like anything else.
Right. But the alternative is you don't have to go. You stay in your house. You don't have to.
Yeah,
you don't have
who the hell
commute
wants to go
Manhattan.
into the city now with this congestion
Right.
pricing and everything else?
So there's that.
You got
No,
that.
we were breaking balls
advantage.
about that a couple of weeks ago, John and I.
Yeah, well,
What's
hopefully,
He
that?
brought in his parking tickets and everything. He was breaking balls about.
yeah, parking tickets all over the place. God forbid you're in a no parking zone for like more than.
Oh, don't buses now. They have cameras.
You're no kidding. That's what I got.
On a bus stop.
Yeah, because I dropped my friend off at the eye doctor to get eye surgery. I was only supposed to be out there a couple of hours.
I didn't think he was going for no surgery.
Yeah, and the guy, the security guard, who was an Italian gentleman, says you could park out there as long as you sit in the car. So I did. So I got 3 tickets in the mail. But my friend took care
While
of it.
he was
because
sitting in the car.
While I was sitting in the car. One of them, I was outside the car on my phone,
I
and he saw me.
got a ticket sitting in the car in Manhattan.
Really?
It was yeah.
I didn't think they could do that.
They
no
take pictures, yeah.
standing. It was a female, brownie, and I'm sitting in the car, and I opened it. And I said, "I'll move," and she wrote me a ticket. And I went across the street to look at
Can't
the both
stand them.
signs,
They all
and the
suck.
doorman told me, he said, they ticket people like crazy.
Quotas, baby, quotas. Make
I
that
would never
money.
want to
not
do
that.
that job. They get abused.
Did you hear how much money these red light cameras made last year out here?
How many?
No.
$25 million.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and who are they taking it from? The middle class.
Everybody,
The,
yeah.
the working guy.
The working man.
Yeah.
Well, Highland Boulevard
brutal.
has about 30 of them.
Yeah.
Between red light and speed.
I leave my Waze on, and it tells you. Because now I know when I pass the camera, I wait a little, and then I'll go 40, 50 miles an hour until I'm about a quarter mile away from the red light camera. Then I slow down. But I studied that thing because you'll be there forever going to the other side of the island.
Well,
I
look what
know.
our friend Scott Lebedo did.
Oh,
he put the bird on his license
Yeah,
plate. He made a
Yeah, tell him.
magnetic bird, and he stuck it to the front and the back of the light, so that when it goes to the camera, it's giving him. Well,
And
obviously, he got the bird.
They arrested
They
him. The
arrested
cop
him.
said, "Listen, you can take it off. We'll let you go." And he goes, "I know you cops have to do your job, but I'm going to leave it." So then they arrested him.
So, what do you guys think about bringing back old school movies and TV shows?
They
Just
should
like-
never make a remake.
No, not a remake. I'm saying bring back that mentality of
Send it, show it again, like West Side Story. Don't remake it. Show the original West Side
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah,
Dirty
right.
Dancing. Don't remake it. Show Dirty Dancing.
And come up with new ideas.
Yes.
I got 10 scripts,
Yes,
and then one
yes.
better than the next.
Well, that's what I was saying before. We've got me and you are producers also. Danny's producing. Now we've got some wonderful stuff, and I'm going to go spend $25 to see a cartel guy transitioning.
The problem is
I don't know.
trying to get the
Sorry.
money.
25.
You know, what is it? $30 now? I don't even for the
Probably.
movie.
For what? The
What,
movies?
movie
Well, it
theaters?
depends if you go to the fucking IMAX,
Right.
the B-Max.
It all
the
depends.
C-Max.
There you go.
Like,
I pay $15. I got that membership.
Oh, you do? Like,
Yeah.
like
And
the
if I don't use it, I get free ticket.
depends
Yeah.
what theater. The ones in the malls are a lot of money.
What did you just say?
The ones in the malls.
No,
are
he
a
said
lot
the
of
ones
money.
in the theater.
The theater. In the theaters. We saw, what's the name of that called? The Bob Dylan movie. There's something unknown.
I just
The
had it.
Complete
I just
Unknown.
had
Yeah,
it.
that was
A
great.
Complete Unknown.
That they only charged us $16 each for because it was on his last tail. It was in the smallest theater.
Yeah,
But
Complete
when,
Unknown.
when the other ones, they charge like $18 a movie.
Really?
But if you go to the IMAX, it's like 20 in the
20
mall.
something. Right.
$21 to $23.
Wow.
Gary, she's a
Popcorn,
local.
$15.
Who?
The girl that got nominated for supporting role from A Complete Unknown. She's a sweetheart. Monica Barbaro. You ever
Oh,
worked
yeah,
with
she
her?
played John Baez.
Yeah, she got nominated. She's great.
I
That's
gotta
great.
say, it was a great movie, but again, a lot
didn't
of,
see that one.
A lot of these movies they're doing like that, they cut
drag.
they cut it off, and like once they made it big, they kind of cut it off. They don't tell the rest of the story.
You ever hear Bob Dylan call for a cab? Taxi.
No.
Taxi.
Oh,
That was cheesy, right?
yes.
They did that with the Priscilla Presley movie, the Priscilla movie. That
Oh,
was
what
good.
a dud.
But they cut. You didn't like it?
It was a dud.
I liked it.
You can't hire a guy that's 6'7" to play Elvis Presley right out of the box. Sorry.
Wait, was that tall?
Yeah, you watched it, right?
Yeah.
So you saw every scene. He's 5 inches bigger
Wait a
than
minute.
everybody.
Who?
The kid that played, and he was
In
he
the
did a good
Elvis
job.
movie?
No, the
In
movie
Priscilla,
called
Priscilla,
Priscilla.
not
I didn't
Elvis.
see Priscilla.
No,
That's
not
good.
the Elvis. The Elvis movie was
Elvis
good.
was great.
Yeah.
Austin Butler was
Except,
great.
That was a
you know,
great
I
movie.
could
He was
stand in
great.
it. It was Hanks.
What happened?
Tom Hanks. I hated in it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Hated.
I know. I like the movie though.
But it was a good movie. He
Yeah.
played the hell of an Elvis.
Yeah.
The kid did good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
was
really
great.
did. He was terrific.
Did you ever see Elvis in concert there? Or no.
No, no. I wasn't a big concert goer.
Okay.
I played a lot of ball.
I got you.
Danny
was our third baseman on the Tony and Tina's wedding.
Oh, yeah?
How many fights?
And we won the
how many
consolation
fights did
tournament
we
one
get into?
We were known as hot hits. Tell them the story about the bowling, Stella.
Bowling. Oh God.
We had a bowling team on Thursdays.
This is
It was
Tony
just
and Tina's
crazy
wedding.
too. Thursdays nights during the summer period, we had the Broadway Show League. So we would play, and our big rival was the union guys, the stagehands.
Stagehands. Oh,
And we were a bunch of Italian hotheads who were always getting
pricks.
into
And we-
almost
fights.
fights, like really close to fist
Really
fights on the
close,
field.
yeah.
And then during the fall, we would go bowl up at Port Authority. There was a
Right.
Broadway Show bowling league. And we were just us. We were loud and
yeah, we're
raucous,
loud
you know.
and we'd kick the.
So every time we get a strike, we'd go off. We'd go crazy. So one night we're doing the Beauty Queen show. We're playing whatever the name of the Beauty Queen show was. It was a drag show.
I know. Yeah, I forget.
And we were destroying him. And so somebody throws a strike, and one of the beauty queens goes, "Oh, there's such a bunch of Stanley Kowalskis." So somebody picked up on it. The next strike, it was like we'd all yell, "Stella! Stella!" So we had a nice reputation in the bowling alley too. But that was
yeah, we
it
did.
was-
But that's the kind of cast we had. It was really a great cast. We were like a family. We really
for
were.
3 years. I did it for 3 years. To this day, I can't eat any Big Ziti.
Oh no, that's my favorite. Always has.
I
been.
can't. No,
Always
for
will
eight
be.
eight
Always
shows a
will be.
week, Johnny. And we're not talking the finest of baked CDs either. I mean, some real
Garbage.
Oh, can't eat it to this day.
What about you, Gary? What was your best movie you worked on a TV show that you had the best time?
Honestly, Copland was great
Yeah.
because it lasted 4 months.
That's
I
such an
made-
underrated
I made
movie,
bank.
too.
It was a great movie.
I worked in Jersey, so that was awesome. And just working with Peter Berg and Robert Patrick and becoming friends with all of them. Artie Noscarella was in it, and we all kind of hung out together. Everybody kind of left Sly alone, and we kind of had our own clique.
And how was he, Sly, to work with?
On that film,
Very
he was very
intimate.
standoffish, but he also, his wife was pregnant with, I forgot the
Stage? No.
no, I forgot the girl's name, but she was born with a hole in her heart, and this happened during
Oh,
production.
This is when he was with his wife now, Jennifer
Yeah, so it
Flavin.
was Jennifer. Yeah, I just forgot his daughter's name. If you said it, I'd say, yeah, that's it. So he was going through a bad time, and
He went through a lot, that guy, through his life.
but we're working with Annabella, and I was working with Ray Liotta, who I became friends with previously on Goodfellas, actually. So it was that one, and Bronx Tale, as far as camaraderie goes, because I don't look at it just to do the movie and, okay, I had a good part in it. It's like what I take away from it, from the cast, from the crew. You remember a lot, you got a lot of fond memories of it. So anything that I've done where I can take, the Adam Sandler film was so much fun because Adam was great. His production company's top shelf.
Danny, what was your worst experience on a project? Did you have any bad experiences, one or two?
He wouldn't tell you anyway.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. He's
not
on the
gonna
wrong
tell you.
show. He's on the wrong show. I'm trying to get something out
He's
of
not
him.
going to tell you.
I want him to break somebody's balls before the
He
show
could have
is
had the
over.
worst experience. He's not going to tell you.
I think the
We gotta
worst,
squeeze him.
the worst experience was when I auditioned. I went to St. Anselm's. They were having when I first started acting. I would go to anything in backstage, and I went to St. Athanasius. And they were holding auditions for Frankie Stunata meets the Wolfman.
What the what? Was this real?
Frankie
Stunata meets the
a
Wolfman.
great title.
So
It's a
I'm
hit.
sitting on a chair, and the director comes over to me and he looks at me. He says, "You make a good Frankie Stunata." And I said, "I don't think so." And I got up and left.
You should have said, but I'm here for the Wolfman.
But I would go to anything. I was trying to learn. It was right when I just finished studying acting. So I haven't had that many bad experiences, really.
Like I said,
or I blocked them out, either one or the other. Yeah.
I mean, even Pritzy's on him, meeting Jack. And I had to take Jack to my friend's social club because he wanted to meet a bunch of wise guys.
Yeah.
And he asked me, he goes, hey, kid, you think you could take me to meet some of your friends? And I said, yeah, I was talking, it was Tommy Barada and me and Jack.
Jack who?
Nicholson.
Oh, really?
And I took him to meet,
What year was this?
when did we do that, 82?
Yeah.
So he was still fairly young.
Oh, he was the best.
and he's
I
a
took
pisser,
him
right?
there. He had spaghetti meatballs. We were there till 4 in the morning, drinking,
time
telling
flies.
jokes. They loved him.
I never
Loved
met
him.
him. I would've
Great
loved to meet him.
Pritzy's honor. Terrible in The Departed.
Who?
Not Whitey Bulger. Didn't have a clue about Whitey Bulger. Jack Nicholson played Whitey Bulger in The Departed.
I liked him. I
I
liked
didn't
him.
think it
like
was
him.
bad.
I didn't like
Even
him.
though he probably didn't play Whitey Bulger the way he was, but he did a cool job
like
because he
him.
was funny. He was
I didn't
just
like
funny. Like he's Jack
Well,
Nicholson.
Hoffa, I didn't really care for him, and he, to be honest.
No, I
with
didn't
you.
like him in Hoffa.
Yeah, I mean, some of these big guys, they hit and miss. It's amazing. Sometimes they're fantastic
A
out of
lot
the
of times
box.
they take the job for the
Yeah,
money.
they just take the job for the money.
Did you like The Departed,
they need
Dan?
the money. Yeah, I did.
I did. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
I
very
like
much.
when he took
I liked it
when
very
he took
much.
the handful of blow and he goes, go. But he was good.
Yeah, great bunch of
John,
actors.
we had a great time today. What
Yeah.
can I say about these two young gentlemen, talented guys,
Yes.
writers, producers,
boy.
directors, fantastic
Yes,
resumes. And the best thing about these two guys is I love them like brothers. They're wonderful people, just like you, Johnny P.
Yes, this is the thing of ours. You guys have always supported me, and I really appreciate it. I'm always there for you. You want me to wax your car one day? I'll even come down and wax your car.
He'll do it. He'll do it.
And I'll do
John,
it for you.
you don't have to do anything. Just your entertainment alone to hear you speak so effervescently.
Thank you. Stutter.
Thank you, John. It's
But
been,
thanks
yeah,
for
it's been
coming,
a lot of
guys.
laughs,
Really,
man.
thanks-
No, it's
thanks
been
for
fun.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for
To many,
making me laugh.
more success. We all
Many
stay here
more.
for a long
Yeah.
time. So where can people find Danny? Where can they find you on social media if they want to find you?
Instagram.
Instagram. Danny Grimaldi on
At
Instagram.
Real Dan Grimaldi.
That's it, the real. And what about you, Gar?
Garry Tours _Pastore on Instagram. I don't know. I'm kind of done with social media. If I didn't really have to have it,
I know,
would
it's
honestly
getting
get rid of
annoying
it.
after a
It really
while.
is starting to get annoying. It's very
It's
toxic.
addictive.
I'm not
It's
on
toxic.
Well,
not on there.
I like some of the quote stuff. I like
Yeah, some of the quotes.
Not for me.
I like it to promote.
About
And that's
dads and
that's
stuff
what
like
the good
that.
part of it is. All right, guys. So listen, another episode of Breaking Balls, and remember what I said. Whose balls could you bust today? Good night.